I mean, I was young and cute and had the body for it, so why not?
I'm just saying, even from a child, she liked to have that midriff out.
I mean, they didn't make shirts as long as they make them now.
That's always what her story is. But my midriff was not out like that. But keep going.
I am the bigger of the two of us. I had a belly. I always will have a belly. So there's some things that just don't stay down. Like, welcome to the Brannon Files podcast.
I'm Brandee.
And I'm Shannon, also known as Brannon.
I'm the older sister.
And I'm the younger.
As Black women, we've had a lifetime of adventures, including world travel, navigating work, and adjusting to evolving family dynamics.
Join us as we dig deep into the files to share stories, experiences, and tips. Hey. Look at us.
Girl, this hasn't happened yet for this podcast.
This is our last episode, though.
The last of the season.
So,
not the last forever. You guys can't get rid of us, so don't cry.
That's true. We'll be back. But season 1, this is how we're ending.
Yes. But let's keep it going. Shan, what have you navigated since the last time we were together?
Well, this is the holiday season as we wind down the year. And we've talked about this before, how we both have like some food intolerances and eating things like specialties, mostly gluten-free, maybe some fish allergies or whatever. There's lots of things, but we focus on gluten-free. And this holiday season, I've been focused on making sure I have something to eat when I go visit people. And, making traditional dishes and making them gluten-free. I will pat myself on the back that I got rave reviews on my gluten-free macaroni and cheese.
It was good. I had some. She brought me some leftovers.
I traveled with it because I was like, I got to share. I can't have all this holiday goodness to myself. And I appreciate you letting me know it was good.
Yes, it was very delicious.
What have you navigated through?
Whew. It has been it's been a busy time. I have navigated through moving. And it's one of those things where like when you think you have just a little bit left, it's like, oh, it's cool. Like I only have a little bit left. I'll be fine. That little bit is a lot more than the little bit that you thought it was. And like packing up a whole place. 3 years doesn't seem like it's that long, but you tend to accumulate some things over that time.
Things over 3 years.
Yeah, you definitely can. So that's what I've been navigating through, just trying to close out one apartment and get all that settled.
I'm gonna also add in a new navigation here because like we're not used to being next to each other. We're used to looking at each other on the screen. So when you see us looking like this and like this, you let us know what feels more natural for y'all, for us to talk to you or for us to talk to each other.
Yeah, that will be good feedback because this is all new for us too.
Yeah. All right, so as we mentioned, this is our last episode of the season, not forever, but welcome. We appreciate you joining us this season, and today we're diving into our experiences with cruising as a vacation. And, it's a nice travel option. We've had some fun stories along the way, and so we're going to share some of them with you today. But there's a hook, because we've got a super exciting announcement for you at the end. And you have to stay in order to find out what it is. That they do. But we can't wait to share it with you. So let's dig into it. What is one of your most memorable cruises or cruise stories?
Well, let's see. I didn't realize I've been on more cruises than I think I thought, But I'm going to have to say one of my most memorable would be my high school senior spring break.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
Listen, I didn't need all that. I did not ask you for that. Nobody needs to know how long ago that was. I still remember it, so it couldn't have been that long ago, right?
I want to hear about it anyway. It was a long time ago, though.
Anyways, so mom was not letting us go on the big spring break trip with all the other kids. That wasn't happening. So we convinced her to let us go on a cruise, and she let us go because she was a chaperone. So she and my aunt came as our chaperones, and me and my closest friends from high school and even middle school.
Yeah, see, I told y'all that was a long time ago.
I was just in high school, like not that long ago. But anyway,
I mean, you look like it, but in reality,
she's not that much younger than me, y'all. So I just want to add that if it was a long time ago for me, it was a long time ago for her too.
but it was always more time ago for her than it was for me. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Girl, let me tell my story.
Okay, finish.
So yes, so we went on a cruise, and I just remember all the memories. I mean, I'm scared to tell some of the stories because like maybe mom still doesn't even know some of them now. But
Spill the beans.
I remember that we went to Cozumel, and we found this bar called Carlos and Charlie's.
Oh, they might still be around.
I think it might be.
Yeah, it's like that.
But,
It's so yeah, maybe not so long ago.
but yeah. Oh, thanks. But anyhow, so we went to Carlos and Charlie's, and I remember that because we thought we were so cool that we like got into this bar, at like what 17 years old or so. Because I don't know if any of us were 18. No, some were 18. I wasn't. So we got into Carlos and Charlie's. I remember that. Two of us were in the talent show. Like we were going to do all the things that the cruise had to offer at this time. They didn't have all the exciting stuff that these boats have now, but we were in the talent show. And I remember we had matching outfits, matching rompers.
Oh wait, y'all went ready?
We already had outfits that we had in common, so we just happened to have them.
Okay.
And we did Shanice, I Love Your Smile. See, that was a long time. Okay. Well, anyhow, yeah. So we did that. Let me see, what else did we do? I remember that we may or may not have made friends with some of the workers. Yeah, we might have closed down the club every night. I remember that happening too.
I mean, they were probably the cruisers that were the closest to your age.
That's exactly what it was. However, I think that if they fraternized with the guests now the way we fraternized, probably, I don't know, they couldn't make, we hung out a lot.
But it was off the ship, right?
No, just really more than anything, just staying in the club late at night.
Oh, I thought you meant like when you were at Carlos.
Oh, no. Just, yeah, they were like our entertainment because I think, like you said, they were the closest people to our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. What else did we do? Ooh, I remember playing some pranks. I remember that we may or may not have decorated the room with like maybe bras and underwear.
Wait, who are you pranking?
One of the other people on the trip with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, just one of the people with us. And yeah, even getting there. Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah, lots of memories. So we drove the car from Michigan.
I just remembered this now. Keep going.
We drove the conversion van because we had a conversion van that we loved from Michigan. We rolled through Georgia to pick up one of our other childhood friends. And on the way from Georgia to New Orleans, because this cruise left from New Orleans, y'all, the van broke down. I don't remember if it broke down, got a tire, whatever it was, we needed to be towed.
Trauma travel.
Yeah, more trauma travel. But we needed to be towed. And we were in the middle of like Mississippi, like somewhere backwoods. Y'all, the tow truck driver looked at us and was like, it was getting to be nighttime. Plus we needed to get to the boat in order to leave. And he was like, y'all can't be here. Like, I can't leave y'all here.
Sundown towns are a real thing.
Real thing. And this was a little bit ago, not a lot ago. And so we got hitched to the back of the tow truck. They towed us with us in the back of the tow truck, which I don't even think they would do now.
Yeah.
But all of us girls in the back of the van hooked up to the tow truck, and mom and auntie were in the front. With the driver, and they drove us all the way from wherever we were in like Mississippi to New Orleans, and then we found a shop or something and they fixed it while we were at sea. But yeah, that was a memory, even getting to the boat, so I forgot about that. Anyway, that was one of my most memorable cruise stories.
I can see why.
Land and sea. What about you? What is one of your most memorable cruise stories?
One of my most memorable cruise stories, it's a little bit different because this was like a theme or specialty cruise. There's a radio host, Tom Joyner. Some of y'all might know who that is or not. And he did this cruise. I don't know if it still goes on.
I think they stopped it now, but hey, maybe it'll come back.
Maybe. It was fun. It was like the Tom Joyner morning show cruise. And it was all the headliners that you could think of were on the ship. Like they would come and perform, and you'd have these like great intimate concerts because the venues on the cruise ships, depending on what size boat you were on, are not that big. So you got to see people up close and personal, and you got to like see them at the buffet in the morning. I might know what some people eat for breakfast.
I just want to
Or
say that this was also a long time ago, y'all, while she's trying to joan on me because they
well,
don't even make cruise ships that size anymore.
I'm
Just saying.
not dating myself by telling you who was on the boat. No, Shanice, I love your smile.
Yeah, well, I could date some for you, but I'll let you tell your story.
But you were on the boat too.
Yeah.
All right. So back to my story. There was comedians, there were singers and entertainers. Like it was awesome. I had pizza with some people that were like, we played basketball. Like, yeah, there are a lot of celebrities on the boat, and they were just having fun too. Like they were happy to be on the ship, but they would like we would go to a stop and then they would get off and more people would come on. So it was kind of nice of how they rolled the entertainment through. And it was just a really good time because it was our family and like my best friend's family and some friends from elementary school's family. Like they were a Black owned business that was doing all the swag for the tour. And I feel like that was something that I will never forget. We had theme nights.
That's what I was going to say.
I remember,
about that.
yeah, I was like, I remember there was a toga night, and I have never made a toga in my life, but guess what? Our like room attendant got us hooked up with some extra sheets, and I figured out a way to make myself a 2-piece toga with some sheets. And
yeah, she loved to have it mid-drift out. I just wanted to say that.
I mean, I was young and cute and had the body for it, so why not?
I'm just saying, even from a child, she liked to have that mid-drift out.
I mean, they didn't make shirts as long as they make them now.
That's always what her story is, but my midriff was not out like that. But keep going.
I am the bigger of the two of us. I had a belly. I always will have a belly. So there's some things that just don't stay down. Like she likes to act like I do it on purpose. Sometimes you just can't keep your shirt down. Like if there was something like suspenders that could keep the bottom of your shirt connected to your pants and on the inside, somebody make this because
bodysuit.
No, I don't want a crotch snap. That's not comfortable. They did come back though.
I know.
You were around the first time they came.
Listen.
Okay, so this episode is not about how old Brandee is. It is actually about cruises. And back to what I was saying, the Tom Joyner Morning Show cruise was one of my favorites. And there's also like a bunch of themed cruises that have come around now these days. So I don't know. I think it all was who was on the boat, the entertainment, and like I think cruises are who's with you that make it.
Yeah, I agree because both of our stories had to do with like the people with us along with the entertainment on yours, but even without that, like the people with us would have still made it a memorable trip.
We enjoy talking with each other, but we also want to talk with you. Comment, subscribe, like, and follow at Brannon Files on YouTube, IG, and Facebook. Don't forget to turn on your notifications to know when we have new content to share.
So let's talk about, since we're talking about cruises, what is the longest cruise you've ever been on? And then how did you handle being on the boat that long?
Okay, so I've done something that not a lot of people do. I've been on what they call a repositioning cruise. So cruises always start out in one place and then they have to get to whatever country or region that they're going to be in. So we took a boat from Miami to Spain. The boat has to get across the Atlantic. And so we rode across the Atlantic. And it's not lost on me that I went a route that some of my ancestors came in the other way on a boat. But anyway, that was actually a really good trip. And we were on the water for 7 days straight without seeing no break, no land. Like you couldn't see, all you saw was water for 7 days. And I think there was a time when I was like, ooh, that's an island. It was a barge. It was just another floating vessel. It was not land. But you asked like, how did I handle that?
Yeah, that seems like a super long time to just, I mean, I guess there's activities, but like not even have the option to get off. That seems like a super long time.
I mean, cruises have a lot to offer you. So they have like crafts, they have workouts, they have the spa. And I was probably one of the youngest people on the ship because it was a 2-week cruise and that a lot of people don't have that time off from work. And To your point about your story when you were in high school, I befriended the staff.
Yeah.
I mean, to an extent, like they were really professional. But there were people who thought that I was one of the ladies who worked on the ship, and they would go up to her and they're like, "Yeah, we saw you at the pool earlier." And we had people convinced that she and I were sisters. Like we didn't try to convince them that we were the same person, but it was definitely fun to kind of trick people. And there was like a jewelry making class. I definitely made all the jewelry I could make. There was even like Zumba big classes in the middle of the deck, and everybody joined in. It was like tiered, and you had different levels, and like kind of like the main
Like everybody's doing
inside,
different levels.
yeah, and different
Well,
levels.
that sounds
So
fun.
yeah, so it was
Sounds
kind
like
of
a
cool.
commercial.
It does sound like a commercial, but I was like up high, and the instructor was down on the stage, and there were people at every level. What else did I do?
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Did these activities like the jewelry cost extra money, or it was part of the
No,
cruise?
it was part of the cruise. Yeah,
Okay.
they provided all of the crafts, and they provided the instructors for Zumba. The things that were extra were maybe when you went into the spa for some of the things.
That's
I remember they had like I don't know if they were actually a podiatrist, but they had something where they were trying to sell people like ways to better balance your feet, or like helping with your posture. So you had to like stand on it. You get a free consultation for that. So I signed up for that. You could get like free 30 minutes with the acupuncturist, like just everything that was free. I was trying it.
Now, were you in the casino though?
Myself, yes and no. So I was there because Granny was on this cruise. So this one was also, it was a toss up for this to be one of my most memorable cruises, because it was the last trip really that I got to take with Granny, and casinos are her thing. Like, so I would have to go, they were her thing. So I would go in there and check on her and see how she was doing. And she had the jackpot on the boat.
Oh,
So
shit,
yeah,
was it a good jackpot? So I wonder how much can you get on a boat jackpot?
I feel like it was under $100. But she also played the nickel slots. So it depends on what size of the money that you're putting in kind of determines what you're getting
I
out.
just want to know if she was usually at the same machine every time we went back to check on her.
Different days she'd be at different machines, I think. But there was definitely, she wanted me to take a picture of her. Like she was so proud of her
With her
jackpot.
jackpot?
Yes,
Aw.
like that was one of the only times where she's like, take this picture.
Yeah.
It's like, so it was cute. And also mom was on the cruise, and my best friend's mom and one of her friends and my aunt. So it was
This
nice.
is the second time we traveled with with your best friend's mom.
Oh, that's true.
She was also on the other cruise.
No, I've traveled with her more than that.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Cruise.
yeah. This
That
is
you
like, but
cruised
on
with
the
it.
no, this is my third time cruising with
Oh,
her.
really?
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
no, I've actually traveled with her quite a bit in different ways. So yeah, what's the longest cruise you've been on, and how'd you handle being on it that long?
Well, my longest cruise was 12 days. And it was like to the Scandinavia area or whatever, but it was not a repositioning cruise. So I feel like maybe we had 2 days at sea consecutive, but I'm not even positive about that. It was the first cruise where I had one stop in the same place for overnight, like for 2 days. I'd never done that before, so that was kind of cool. I only got off the ship one of the days, but and it was actually very interesting to well, I did all the activities too. That's what I'll say. Like rock climbing was my thing. Like every day I was rock climbing because I was determined that by the end of this 12 days, I'd be able to make it to the top. When I get something, when I'm determined to do one of these activities, I'm determined to do one of the activities.
Virgos be Virgoing.
Hey. But so rock climbing, I kept myself really busy with that. And then I do remember just like kind of being out on the deck on the second day that I didn't go out into the city. There were some visa issues, so I just stayed on the boat. But also again, travel trauma? What are you gonna say, visa issues? No, it wasn't issues like that. I just didn't want to pay for another day of excursion in order to visit.
Okay.
It was Russia, and in order to visit Russia, you had to have a tour organized through the company to be able to have your travel visa. So I was on a budget, so I just did one day. But again, I became friends with the workers, and they were really fun. This was a Spanish cruise line, by the way. So like everybody spoke Spanish. I was one of the very few English speakers.
Like
so
on the ship at all?
On the ship at all. It was a Spanish brand. So part of the way I handled being on it that long was to practice my Spanish. So I spoke with them and got better at my Spanish. And Yeah, that was pretty much how I did that.
I mean, I would kind of like to be immersed in that way where it's like, oh, I kind of know a language, but
But the interesting thing was they actually were more interested in practicing their English than
um,
allowing me to actually practice my Spanish. I was like, hey. I did this kind of on purpose. Actually, I didn't. It just was a very good price. And I do speak some Spanish. So I said, hey, why not? It was a great way to be able to see that region on a budget.
It's time to dig into the files for today's tip.
so remember earlier when we said that we had a special announcement? Well, here it is. We are embarking on a world cruise. We're going to be gone around the world for 9 months. We are going to hit every continent. Will be like 60 plus countries. And yeah, we're going to circumvent the globe.
We're going to do this. Like, and I want to tell y'all that don't worry. Like, it is really happening. I know there's a lot going out right now because I got a lot of articles that this cruise around the world got canceled. That's not us. We're really doing it. We're going to do it. So usually this is when we give y'all the tip of the day, but instead we're going to talk to y'all about what we're going to do.
Yeah, what's up next for the Brannon Files? So I feel like we get this question a lot when we tell people that we're going to cruise around the world. And it's, how'd you come up with this? Like, how'd this come about? Who made the decision? Somewhere in that vein.
Yeah. And what we always tell them is who came up with the idea was mom. So it definitely came from mom. This kind of really sparked during the pandemic. So we had Sunday dinners, and I say that in quotes because obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but it was virtual. We weren't all together. So in one of these Sunday dinners, mom and dad were talking, and they told us how they were going to take this cruise around the world. And we were on the phone, and I was like, where y'all think are going without us? Well,
Like,
without me, for sure.
We want to go.
Like, we definitely need and want to be a part of this. And dad was like, that's cute, y'all. Y'all are funny. You have jobs, you have things to do, like you got bills to pay.
It's like, say less.
Right. Yeah. And we were like, well, no, I mean, we like this, it sounds like a good idea to us. And I'm like, did you birth me? Because you put this travel bug in me from a young age.
I mean,
So,
y'all
like,
have heard most of the season. It's family oriented about our travels.
yeah, for sure. So, they laughed at us. We all went away and went our separate ways. And sometime later, they came back to us and asked us if we were really serious. And we were like, yeah, we're really serious. And then they basically kind of said, do you want your inheritance now or when we pass away? And we opted for the living inheritance, as mom likes to call it. I like it saying it that way a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that.
So here we are, y'all. We're going to go around the world.
And I mean, after our dad asked if we were serious and we found out that everything was kind of really happening, I started making plans like immediately. I'm the planner, apparently, because I quit my job. I was like, look, I want to find out what it's like to be a consultant on land before I try to be a consultant at sea. Because I knew from that point on that I was going to need to figure out how I was going to make a livelihood and pay the bills back at home and like be able to afford the experiences that we're about to have. And I locked my hair. So I started then because I went to a loctician and asked them to teach me like how can I self-maintain my locks, and so far so good.
By the way, I've been trying to ask her to teach me so I can help her, but she hasn't done that.
Remember when I said Virgos be Virgoing? I still am not sure that if she helps me, if it will actually go any faster.
But it's going to be done neat and right.
It will. And I'm sure I will allow you to help me over these 9 months that we're going to be at sea, because I'm just not going to want to spend my time messing with my hair. But it's still one of the best decisions that I made, as I've talked about before. And consulting is going well. So it's really nice to have like a supportive group of other consultants that know what I'm doing and that are gonna like, we can navigate our clientele so that we just take on different roles in the projects.
My story is not quite the same, but not that I don't plan. I just plan in a different way. And it was still some years out. So for me, I stayed at my corporate job, and even considered like maybe how I could work part-time, take a leave of absence. things like that. But in the end, I decided that I want to be free and I want to have this experience. So, yes, I will not be officially working while we're gone.
I wish I had planned that way, to be honest. But we'll see how this goes. And y'all will be along for the ride in season 2, and you'll see how it goes as well.
So, now that you all know, now that they know, hey, y'all know, I want to know, what is it that you're looking most forward to about the cruise? It could be where and or, but just not just where, but like, what about the experience are you looking forward to most?
This is a toss up. Well, it's a twofold because I haven't done that yet this episode. I like to throw her for a loop. The what is like actually experiencing the world like with you, mom and dad. Like I think we've traveled quite a bit as a family, but this is something completely different. And we're really going to learn a lot about each other. I mean, we're close already, but this is going to be, I mean, this is like a gift and we'll see about us being in the same room
Don't you want to be this
together.
close to me the whole time? This is about how close our beds are probably going to be.
Right, but it's just saying space. And I think that we'll get to know each other better and like be able to have a different understanding. Like we have a good rapport now, but it's gonna be like this is something that we've never experienced before. But as far as like locations go, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing more of the world wonders. I know you've knocked a bunch of them off of your list.
Have
I thought.
I don't know.
You've been to the pyramids.
Been to the pyramids,
You've been to Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You haven't been to Chichen Itza.
I have not.
I've been multiple times.
Yeah, I was like,
The Colosseum.
yes,
We've both been there.
Is there any in Greece? I don't think
No.
so. No. I think that's it.
Okay, so maybe you've got just like one or two. Oh no, you've been to the Great Wall.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been to the Great Wall yet. And I think just being able to like knock those out and be able to remember that I did it and have like all the footage and the memories and with you all, and yeah, that's what I'm looking most forward to. What about you?
I don't know that my answer is that much different of what I'm most looking forward to. I am just looking forward to spending time with the family. And again, it's not that we're not close, but like enjoying your family as adults is a lot different than enjoying them as like when you're younger. And I think we've all come into our own now. And even with our parents now, they're retired now, right? So it's even a whole other phase for them. And I feel like we're like at the point in our career where they were when they were like our parents, you know what I mean? Like our most memorable times of like them, of living with them and stuff like that. So I just think it's interesting, like the dichotomy of being in a different place and different age groups and different brackets.
Yeah.
And I'm really like thankful and feel really blessed. And it's my prayer all the time that we're all healthy enough to do this right now.
Yeah.
And that we all maintain that throughout the cruise and beyond. And I look forward to just really cherishing that time, because this is literally a once in a lifetime experience. And I can't believe it's happening still. Like I feel like I need to pinch myself. And also location wise, for me, so many things, but I think Antarctica will be my most exciting, just
Not
because
many people say they can go there.
Right, that's exactly it. Like it has been on my list, but just like looking at the price of going there alone, and it's just like, if you want to talk about the road less traveled, we all know I like to go somewhere that everybody doesn't always go, and Antarctica's definitely that.
Yeah, I think, I'm okay going where other people have been before, but I always like going along for the ride with you when you pick up these places where you're like, no, we're going here because such and such a place is where everybody goes. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go there and I'm coming with you.
Fair. Very fair. Oh, I do. Oh, I know what else I'm looking forward to. Can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
I will hit my 100th country on our trip.
Oh, right. That you'll hit 100 countries. Mom and dad will hit their 50th wedding anniversary. We'll all have birthdays on the cruise. And what else is happening? I feel like there's another milestone that I'm missing.
Another milestone? I don't know, but
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. And I think your number count is going to be up there. You're going to pass 50.
yeah, I don't even know what my count is. Like that's been your thing that haven't some stuff I picked up and was like, yep, this is what you do because my older sister does it, but that's not one of them. I have like an app that I use to track where I've been, but I forget to actually count and pay attention to the number. That's always been your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hanging with us this season, and hopefully you've enjoyed getting to know us. Stay tuned for season 2 starting up in the new year. We invite you to travel the world with us via the podcast as we circumvent them, like circumvent the whole world, all 7 continents, over 60 countries, lots of excursion sites to see, and we'll be here talking all about it with you in the new year.
We can't wait to take you along on this epic journey with us. See you guys next season.
Thank you for rocking with us as we embark on this journey. The Brannon Files podcast is a labor of love. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, IG, and Facebook at Brannon Files and check back for our next episode.